Theresa was born in France in 1873, the pampered daughter of a mother who wanted to be a saint and a father who had wanted to be a monk. The two had gotten married, but determined they would be celibate until a priest told them that was not how God wanted a marriage to work. They must have followed his advice very well because they had 9 children. The 5 children who survived were all daughters.
Zélie, what should I do? This deadly disease has claimed the life of 4 of our children.
Let the nurse Rose look after her. She took good care of Leonie and Celine when they were kids.
But Rose has her own children to be looked after. How will she stay away from her kids?
Dear, let us send Theresa to her home. I'm sure she'll take good care of her.
I agree with you. She has always been such a great nurse.
Theresa was handed over to the care of Rose Taillet, and for 15 months she was taken care of by this nurse. But in the meantime, her mother was desperately fighting the cancer.
Louise, my daughters, I think that my time on earth is about to come to an end.
Mother, what are you saying?
Theresa, Mom is sick and she's dying.
What? But...
Pauline?
Yes, Mother?
You should take good care of Theresa. She's still a child. I'm sure Leonie and Celine can manage themselves.
Theresa's 16-year-old sister, Pauline, now became her second mother. Pauline took good care of Theresa, and both of them became quite inseparable.
Sister, please don't leave.
Don't cry, Theresa. God will look after you.
I will miss you.
I will miss you too, dear. Don't forget to pray every day.
In a few months, Theresa got ill and she was bedridden.
She's going to die, you know.
Oh, shut up. How can you speak like that in front of a little girl?
Where is Mary?
Oh, she's there praying to Mother Mary.
My dear, listen to me. You should start praying to Mother Mary and all your troubles will go away.
Is it true?
Of course it is. I know so many people who got cured after they prayed to Mother Mary.
Theresa saw her sisters praying to Mother Mary. She too started praying to Our Lady. The little girl, as usual, was praying to Mother Mary that night.
Oh, Mother Mary, please heal me.
It was then that she saw Mother Mary smiling in front of her.
Huh? Am I dreaming?
As soon as the vision disappeared, Theresa was able to sit upright, and she was completely healed.
Father!
What? What happened?
Look, Father, I'm all right now.
Huh? It's true? You're healed? How did this happen?
I was praying to Mother Mary, and it was she who healed me.
You're so innocent.
It's true, Father. She just appeared before me and she smiled at me.
What? Are you sure?
Yes, Father.
Thank you, God.
Theresa was the pampered little girl in their household, and she always started crying for even simple reasons.
Theresa, come on. Why are you sitting alone and crying?
Miss, my classmates keep making fun of me.
Oh, that's part of school life, dear. You should take things in the right spirit. How else are you going to enjoy your school life?
I'm coming here only because my sisters are in school.
Theresa had all the tantrums of a young girl. She always had an outburst of emotions, and that made her different from other children. After a few years, her sisters, Marie and Leonie, also joined the convent. This made little Theresa also think about joining the convent. But she knew that she wouldn't be able to handle the rigors of the Carmelite life as long as she couldn't handle her own emotional outbursts. She describes that in her Story of a Soul about this great conversion on a Christmas day. fact, a collection of the letters she had written and published by her elder sister, Sister Pauline. It was a custom in France to place the Christmas gift for the children inside their shoes on the eve of Christmas Day.
Celine, have you not stopped this practice? Teresa is no longer a baby.
Speak softly, Father. Teresa might hear us. You know she gets upset easily.
But Celine, this pampering need to stop. I know that she wants to join the convent. How is she going to survive the strict rules of the convent if she's pampered like this?
Meanwhile, Teresa was listening to the entire conversation. On a normal occasion, she would have been shattered, but God was slowly transforming her for a noble cause. Jesus arrived into her heart and did what Teresa could not. When Celine realized that Teresa had heard what they said, she thought Teresa would be in tears in a few seconds.
Oh, Teresa, were you listening to our conversation?
Yes, Celine.
Huh? Are you not upset at what Dad said?
No, not at all. I think God is working His ways so that I can join the convent.
When Teresa's father approached the church authorities to allow her into the Carmelite, they initially refused. They said that she was too young to enter the convent. However, Teresa's mind was made up. She couldn't bear to wait, as she felt that God was calling her to enter a nun's life. She was so determined that she traveled to the Vatican to meet the Pope personally. The Pope was slightly taken aback to hear such an unusual request from a young girl.
Well, my child, do what the superiors decide.
In a few days, Teresa got the required permissions to join the Carmelite convent. Convent life was not without hardships. It was cold and the accommodations were basic. And it was nothing like Teresa had imagined before.
Jesus, I've finally joined the convent. Thank you for helping me.
Her father suffered a series of strokes that left him affected not only physically but mentally. When he began hallucinating and grabbed for a gun as if going into battle, he was taken to an asylum for the insane. Horrified, Teresa learned of the humiliation of the father she adored and admired, and of the gossip and pity of their so-called friends. As a cloistered nun, she couldn't even visit her father. Teresa realized that she would never be able to attain sainthood unless there was a miracle. So she decided to do little deeds to make others happy around her. She took every chance to sacrifice, no matter how small it would seem. She smiled at the sisters she didn't like. She ate everything that was given without complaining, so that she was often given the worst leftovers.
Oh no! Can't you be a little more careful, Teresa? Do you know how expensive that vase was?
Mother, please forgive me. I will not repeat this.
Hey, Teresa, why did you take the blame for my mistake?
Don't worry, sister, that's all right.
Teresa had poor health and she was often bedridden. But she conversed with Jesus continuously, and in spite of her ill health, she wanted to attain sainthood by doing little things. She took her vows on 8th of September 1890 and took the name as Teresa of Child Jesus. She wrote many letters to express her devotion to the Holy Face. One day, Teresa was called into the office of her sister Pauline.
Did you call me sister? Teresa, come, sit down. I think I may have some bad news for you. Huh? What is it? I think I have been selected as the new prioress. Wow, that's such a wonderful news. But why are you looking so sad, sister? I'm coming to that. Don't worry. Tell me, what is it? Look, Teresa. Now that I have been elected as the prioress, everyone in the convent feels that we sisters will take over the convent. They think that we will push everyone to get what we want. I don't blame them, as there are 4 of us here in the convent now, and the convent strength is only about 20. That's true. I can understand their concerns. Now listen, Teresa. What I'm going to tell you now might hurt a bit, but it's only for the greater good. You will have to remain a novice.
That's all?
Don't you realize how serious this is? This means that you will never be a fully professed nun, and you will always have to ask permission for everything you do.
I understand, sister. Don't worry.
Thank you, sister. You don't realize how great your sacrifice is. Thank you.
Teresa didn't worry at all about spending her remaining life as a novice at the convent. All she wanted to do was little deeds that would make others happy. After a few years, one day while she was working, she started coughing up blood. But she kept working and never told anyone about her sickness. It took almost a year for everyone to realize that Teresa was sick.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want you to leave your duties.
I'm sorry, Teresa. I should have never asked for all those sacrifices from you.
That's all right, sister.
Teresa, I want you to write your memos on a book for me. Can you do that?
Memoirs? But who's going to read that?
You don't worry about that. Just do like I told you. With your life, I want to show to the world that performing your duties with great love is much more important to God.
All right, sister.
And as her sister told her, she started writing letters documenting her thoughts and encouraging others to pray to God. She had not traveled anywhere from the convent to spread the good news, nor did she perform any miracles. Teresa had assisted the Society of Foreign Missions in the role of a spiritual sister. She had written letters to them encouraging, consoling, and praying for their missions through her little ways. On the eve of Good Friday in 1896, after the prayers, she went to bed. She was suffering from tuberculosis, which was not curable during those times.
Oh, most loving Jesus, I know that my time on earth has come to an end.
Teresa died on the 30th of September, 1897, and her last words were, "My God, I love you." One nun commented that there was nothing to say about Teresa. But Pauline put together Teresa's writings, and heavily edited them, unfortunately, and sent 2,000 copies to other convents. But Teresa's little way of trusting in Jesus to make her holy and relying on small daily sacrifices instead of great deeds appealed to the thousands of Catholics and others who were trying to find holiness in ordinary lives. She died at a very young age of 24. Thérèse of Lisieux is one of the patron saints of the missions, not because she ever went anywhere, but because of her special love of the missions and the prayers and letters she gave in support of missionaries. This is a reminder to all of us who feel we can do nothing, that it is the little things that keep God's kingdom growing.